So I'll start with a story actually. My father-in-law, when my daughter was born, he came to the UK. He comes from India, and so do we. And so the baby was just born, and it was just maybe the next day we brought the baby from the hospital to home, and and one of our neighbors, he dropped a small little present outside the door, and he didn't knock or he didn't ring the bell, and he just left it there. And I opened the door, I brought the present in, and my father-in-law saw it, and he said, "What's that?" I said, "My neighbor, he's just left a present." And I was expecting he would say, "Oh, that's very kind of him." And he was, and that what he said actually shocked me in the first instance. He said that how ridiculous is that somebody would just leave a gift outside. That's impolite, he said. He said, "You should come inside, you should sit with us, and you should have a cup of coffee, and you should congratulate the parents." And at that point I said to him, "It doesn't work like that in the UK. They respect your privacy, they respect your first experience as a parent, and it's a different way of looking at life." But the mistake I made was exactly what most people do, which is to go in the telling mode that you should know better, that this is the culture here. And if I look back, I think that's the crux of the problem. And the repercussions of telling him rather than listening to him and trying to help him realize that this his world and not other people's world is that he went around spreading this story for the next 10 years of his life, to say that I went to, my daughter is 11 now, it's been 11 years, and every time we speak to him, or every time he speaks to his friends and relatives, he says it's a ridiculous culture out there. Babies are born and people just leave stuff outside the door. So he clearly hasn't come to terms with that worldview. And I use the word worldview because in his worldview, in his understanding, in his that you cannot do that. That's considered impolite.